show, guys. This is an unexpected video that I'm doing, but this topic just kind of came up, so I figured I would take advantage of the situation so that I could talk about it a little bit, and hopefully this video is able to help some other people if they are wondering about Raspberry Pis and some of the accessories that go along, or some of the accessories that you can use with the Raspberry Pi, such as in this case keyboards. This is kind of how this unfolded for me. I was at Walmart the other day doing some shopping, and I seen this keyboard that was on sale for $60. And though I probably already showed you a picture of this, I'm going to show it to you again. This is the box for the keyboard. Not affiliated with the company in any way. Okay, so this is a gaming keyboard, a Cynosa V2 Razer. I bought it for $60. I thought it was a pretty good price, and I really liked that it had the RGB lights. All the keys are backlit, and they change colors. It has a real nice effect. And if you spend as much time in front of a keyboard, mouse, and monitor as I do on a day-to-day basis, you know, you do want to do little things like this. For one, just to kind of brighten up your environment and have it look more visually pleasing to the eye. So I'm not a gamer, but nonetheless, having a keyboard like this, it really just it brightened up my area a little bit, and I really like it. You know, so this is why we do some of these things. You know, you're spending a lot of time working, educating yourself in front of the terminal screen, in front of monitors, keyboards, etc. So, you know, it's nice to be able to do things like this. You would think that something like this might be common sense or self-explanatory, and ask, why would you bother to make a video about a keyboard? I like Raspberry Pis, as you should be able to tell by the channel. I have a lot of Raspberry Pis, and pretty much everything I do on a day-to-day basis involves Raspberry Pis in some way. So I have a lot of accessories, a lot of things that I interface with Raspberry Pis, including keyboards. And keyboards are very important, obviously. You need to be able to type. Now, what I have been using up until now for most of my day-to-day functions on my Raspberry Pi 4 serving as my desktop has been by me using a $20 Logitech wireless Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and I like it. Nothing wrong with it. It's been great. It works well. It was $20. It came with the keyboard and the mouse, both of which are wireless. You plug a dongle into one of the USB ports of the Raspberry Pi, and that's how it is controlled. I went and I bought this Razer Cynosa keyboard, right, that you can see right here. Give you a little shot of that with the effect of the lights changing in the behind the keys there. In fact, let me go one step further for you guys. I have a light set up to illuminate the area that I'm recording. So let me go ahead and turn that light down, and you should get a better look. Okay, and I'll let that run like that for a minute so you can see the effect of the lights as they change. So the main reason that I'm making this video is because when I bought this keyboard, okay, there was something that I did not even think about. When I got home and I started to unbox the keyboard and get ready to attach it to my Raspberry Pi, I realized I was going to have to plug this in to the Raspberry Pi. Okay, there is a cable that is attached to this keyboard. Okay, so my previous one was run off of batteries, and I used a Bluetooth dongle that came with it and plugged it into the Raspberry Pi. This is different. I actually have a cord, and believe it or not, this is the first time in using my Raspberry Pi 4 that I was connecting a keyboard to it via a USB cable. Now I plug things into my USB ports all the time, but I've never plugged something this big into my Raspberry Pi 4, okay? This is a pretty decent sized keyboard, and it does not run off of batteries. It's getting its power through this USB cable, and that's a very important distinction to understand. The Raspberry Pi itself, one of the things that makes it unique is that it is able to run off of a very low amount of power. It is a low power device. It is not meant to be powering other devices that require a lot of power. I didn't think about that, and I was concerned because now I didn't know if the Raspberry Pi was going to be able to power this keyboard. It has all of these lights on it, so I didn't know what the output was of this keyboard. I didn't know the amount of power that it was giving out, so there was a big question mark hanging over this whole situation as to, was this going to work or not. Yes, it does work. I was able to obviously verify that firsthand. As common sense as that might be to some, you really don't know. And I had never done it, and I wasn't sure, so I am very glad to be able to report to the viewers, anybody who's tuning into the channel, that yes, 100%, there was absolutely no issues with the Raspberry Pi being able to being able to run this keyboard. Everything worked great. I actually have it plugged into one of the blue USB colored ports. That's a USB 3.0, but you could plug it in any of them, the 2.0 ports or the 3.0, and it is going to work. So very happy about that. And as a product itself, when we're talking about this keyboard in and of itself, I really like it. It feels very good, very, very much into the effect that the keyboard gives off with the backlit RGB lights here. So I'm extremely happy with that. Have not played around much with the different modes. There's something like a dozen modes when it comes to the effects of the lights. There's a couple buttons up here that you can mess around with, and it will change the way that the lights are shown on the keyboard, but haven't really gotten into that, okay? But other than that, these are things that you have to think about, especially when you are getting into Raspberry Pis. If you are into Raspberry Pis as much as I am, as much as we are, then these are things that if you don't have, you're going to end up having, right? And while we're on the subject, I will be doing some other videos, I'm sure, but there are numerous options that you can go with when you want to interface your Raspberry Pi with a keyboard, right, as I have shown you. So some of the other options that I can actually show you that I have, ones that I use, okay, other than the Cynosa, I have a mini wireless Bluetooth keyboard right here. This was I think close to $25 on Amazon, and this has no Bluetooth dongle. That's important. That's something very important for one to know if they were thinking about buying this. So I would use this to connect to my Raspberry Pi, but after I already had it set up, because there's no Bluetooth dongle. Or I might use this to connect to my cell phone via Bluetooth, and the cell phone is connected to the Raspberry Pi through something like SSH, okay? So it's a nice option, okay? And another one that I have that I use is this one right here, another mini wireless Bluetooth keyboard. It is a little bigger than the other one. This one I think was about $12, so we're talking about half the price. And it also has a feature where you can see it has a backlight on it. The keys are backlit, okay? So very nice. One of the biggest distinctions between this one and this one right here is that this has no Bluetooth dongle. You will connect via Bluetooth, but you're gonna have to connect to the Raspberry Pi after the Pi has already been set up, okay? This actually comes with a Bluetooth dongle. You open the back up, and inside of the back compartment here, there's actually a little mini Bluetooth dongle right here, okay? So if I were to connect this to the Raspberry Pi, say I was out in the field, okay, I have a Raspberry Pi sitting right here, okay, you literally are just gonna take your little mini, take your dongle here, and you're gonna pick one of your USB ports, and you're gonna just plug it in just like that. Now both of these mini keyboards here that I just showed you, both of those run off of a rechargeable battery, okay? They have a battery pack inside of them, so you will have to charge those up in advance. Neither one of them runs off of just regular batteries. So these are just all little things that you have to think about as far as what is going to be best for whatever your situation is, and what would you rather have. A lot of these things that we're talking about, these are the nuances, and I did not know what I was doing in the beginning. So I would get products, I would get things like this, and then realize, oh, okay, this doesn't have batteries, okay, this has a dongle, this doesn't. I made mistakes. So in talking about this stuff and showing some of these things to you guys, hopefully you will be better educated than I was, and you can make better decisions with your money and with your time, okay? I've kept you guys long enough on this video. Thank you for watching. Tune in to the next one, and hey, come get yourself another slice of this Raspberry Pi.